Thank you for joining me. This is the Spiritual Princess, and I wanted to talk about the most common types of mediums and what they do. So, number one, there are medical intuitive mediums, and these people use intuition to tune into a person's energy field or their aura to see what's happening in the body. So, a medical intuitive can help someone pinpoint the root cause of their health concern. For example, they might figure out that someone has an underlying emotional issue that could be causing that person to become physically ill. They may even take it one step further and discover a past life connection to the emotional issue. I would never suggest anyone seek a medical psychic instead of a traditional doctor, as they cannot diagnose or treat illnesses. Okay, so number two is a trance channeling medium. Now, a trance channeling is a medium that allows a spirit to speak through them. They typically go into a deep trance, and the medium is pretty unaware of what is happening during the session. They are basically a conduit for spirit to pass information through them. Now, I don't do this because it can be dangerous if you allow a negative energy inside, and the danger comes from them not wanting to exit the body. So people who use trance channels need to be careful and know the risks. Just because someone's trance channels, I cannot say that today. Just because somebody trance channels a spirit doesn't mean the energy they have allowed inside is good or even honest. So they could deceive that medium and use them to cause harm if not careful. So under the right circumstances, this type of channeling can be fascinating, but the psychic medium will need a great deal of training and protection so they do not become possessed by the wrong kind of spirit. Okay, so number three is a physical medium. And from what I understand, this type of medium is pretty rare because imagine sitting in a room with a group of people. The medium stands when a mist begins to flow out of their mouth, taking the shape of a spirit person. The medium first goes into like this deep trance and can manipulate the energetic matter in the body. If the space was not adequately cleaned or cleansed before they began, debris could stick to the energy, what people call ectoplasm, and actually hurt a medium. Today's famous mediums like Teresa Caputo and James Von Prague and myself, we're mental mediums, which means we can communicate with spirits within our mind. Mental mediumship is not unsafe, but I've heard physical mediumship is one of the rarest forms of psychic ability. Okay, so moving on to number four is a mental medium. Mental mediumship is when information from the spirit world is channeled through the medium's mind in various ways using the medium's most vital clairsenses, such as clairvoyance, clairaudience, and clairsentience, which is seeing, hearing, and feeling. Number five is an evidential medium, which I'm also an evidential medium. The purpose of evidential mediumship is to help somebody overcome skepticism about spirit communication. So this medium usually starts reading with messages that give the client or sitter evidence that their loved one is in spirit, and that's who's communicating. The medium begins by presenting physical evidence such as a spirit's appearance, their cause of death, age, if they're male or female. The messages then described your loved one's personality, including what they liked and disliked, trying to identify speech patterns and unique characteristics that indicate that it is your loved one coming through in the reading. So a medium will often use words or phrases your loved one would use typically. Some messages might describe your loved one's history, family situation, marital status, if they had any children or pets. You just want to try to get as much evidence as you can. And that's what an evidential medium does. Moving on to number 6 is a healing medium. This type of medium can cure disease or relieve pain by the use of hands or by prayer. This power can also be associated with all true believers, whether mediums or not. It is achieved with the cooperation of good spirits and angels and loved ones for the purpose of healing somebody. Okay, so number 7 is a prophetic medium. And this has happened to me many times, and it's very frustrating, but it's called the prophetic medium. And these are mediums that receive a message of future events of general interest to predict something tragic, like 9/11 or any other horrible event. And, I live in Colorado, and I know many people might remember the Aurora Theater shooting. And that was something that I had a dream about a month before it happened. So it was a prophetic dream, and it was me and my son sitting in a movie theater, and somebody came in and bullets were whizzing by our head. And I remember in the dream we ran for our lives out the back exit, and I could still hear, gunfire. And when I woke up from that, I kept thinking, okay, that was really stupid and weird and horrible, and who would ever shoot up a theater? And then a month later it happened. So these are prophetic mediums who will receive messages for any kind of future event. And it's usually something not so pleasant. So that's that kind of medium. Okay, number 8 is a painting and drawing medium. And these mediums will paint and draw under the influence of spirits. So some people will draw a face of somebody they're sensing or seeing in their mind's eye, or paint. It's pretty interesting. And I don't know if people know who Cindy Kaza is. She's a psychic medium, but she does do a lot of drawings in her work. And she also uses automatic writing, which is something I use, but she does these amazing pictures. And if you haven't checked them out, you probably should. It's interesting to see that. Okay, so then number 9 is a musical medium. And these are mediums that execute, compose, or write music under the influence of spirit. Okay? I don't know anybody who does it, but it's one of the types. And the last type of medium, or at least one of the last types, is an intuitive writing medium, which is what I do, which is how I wrote a book. And now I'm on number 2. But spirit communicates directly by thought within the medium, but the medium's hands are guided by their will to write what is being spoken, which is also part of automatic writing. But the intuitive writing medium corresponds to the ideas suggested to them regarding whatever subject the medium wants to discuss with their guides, with their angels and loved ones. So those listed are the most common mediums, but other types do exist. And some might be suitable in only 1 or 2 areas, where other mediums might be formed in nearly all realms, making them some of the strongest and best mediums in the world. So if you were curious about the types of mediums, I hope that helped explain what some of us do. Have a great day or night, and love and light.